Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog Expert Mode.
Shadow, good job with your training here. Every day brings new challenges. Remember that. Your task here is to destroy the city annihilator bomb. Good luck.
So this is a different level for us to run through. Central City does not have a goal ring for either mission. So because of that, we are not playing a get to the goal ring mission. No, instead we have a proper mission we have to complete. There are bombs scattered all throughout the city, specifically 4 Annihilator bombs. We must destroy 4 of those, and once we do so, that will be it for Central City, which essentially is just the dark mission for this level. But it doesn't matter which alliance you attack or not attack, so I will be attacking more Black Arm aliens here to fill up our chaos control gauge, but there will be also times I would want the other gauge to be filled so I can have infinite ammo. We're coming up to our next bomb here, so what I recommend doing in this level in expert mode, if you know the path for the bombs for the dark mission in Central City, take that path, as that will lead you to all bombs you need to destroy for the expert version of this stage as well. For the most part, the bombs are basically in the same kind of setups as before too. Take care of enemies, which will open up gates, and then from there you can destroy the bombs. Now, some of the enemies you have to fight, they will be mixed between hero and dark enemies, but that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. This level, I would recommend using the Shadow Rifle, because Shadow Rifle is a one-hit KO to every single enemy here, so this will just do a lot more damage and get you through this mission a lot faster. So right here, this is our next bomb. As you notice, it's being guarded by a Black Arms creature instead, so we have to destroy the Black Arm aliens to actually get to the bomb. Again, this really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of the alliance system here, because you just have to defeat enemies. It really doesn't matter for level completion. So we'll just use that alien to get ourselves to chaos control, which leads us up to a top path conveniently enough, and gets us another extra life. And also leads us right to our next section with a bomb, so this also helps too. If I get the camera like it locked from the wall, thank you. Attack the enemy down below, unlocks our next bomb, and we only have 1 more left. We're not gonna have enough enemies to kill here though before we get to the bomb, so we're not gonna be getting any more infinite ammo, but to be fair, we got more enough ammo at this point with our Shadow Rifle. We'll be fine. So I'll take this top path here on the right side,
Hold the line, man.
and in front of us here, you can see it spawn in. That's our final bomb. And this one is guarded by the Black Arms. So, first things first, got a shield guy, just use your homing attack, take care of him pretty easily. And now we have the big soldiers, but because we have the Shadow Rifle, they die in 1 shot. Just gotta wait for 2 more of these creatures to fall down, and shoot the final bomb, and that will conclude the mission here. Thankfully, with the Shadow Rifle, we destroyed it instantly. So, why not use Chaos Control for a little bit of swag?
Perfect.
Alright, now it's time for our first of the Arc levels, the Doom.
Shadow, how is your training going? I'll be cheering you on. Here you have to rescue all of the wounded researchers. Good luck.
So, here in the Doom, we're completing the Hero mission. We must help all the wounded scientists here in this level. But this one has a special twist to it. I recommend picking up the heal cannon in this stage, because all you're going to be fighting here are gun soldiers. So the heal cannon will be your best friend, because we want to fill up that said heal gauge as fast as possible. This guy's definitely really playing with his Kung Fu skills, but that won't really help him. We're going to heal him up, use our chaos control right here to zoom through this section, get a free life on top of the roofs there, which is very convenient for our sake. And from here, we'll continue forward. So, you may have noticed so far, I'm just trying to run through as fast as we can this stage, because, well, simply put, while Maria tells you you have to heal all of the scientists in this stage, don't worry about the mission type here, because, simply put, The mission type here is a glorified goal ring. And you'll see why once we reach the end of the Doom. As of right now, grab yourself the heal cannon specifically, because it is going to be needed for the ending of this stage as well. Well, not necessarily needed, but it's going to make your life a lot easier. Thankfully, we can heal these gun soldiers before they get to us, which will help not to fight any enemies, but also does fill up our hero gauge.
Mr. Yuji Naka, come here. Stay back.
Excuse me, sir, coming right through. Gonna heal up more soldiers. Gonna hold off on my chaos control here for just a moment, because I'm gonna want to use it in this room specifically. Fly up, cancel it here. Heal you. Keep it going. Not gonna use the chaos control here. I'm trying to maneuver in a very specific way here, because we're nearing the end of the stage. If you have chaos control for the very end here, use it at this specific end section. Fly up to the top of the room, and would you look at what you're greeted with? 10 downed scientists. What you're supposed to do here is take this heal capsule, run it over into the sectional level, throw it at the scientists, rinse and repeat until they're all healed. This is why it's recommended to use the heal cannon, because you can heal multiple scientists in one go, which will complete the mission. It's a very weird situation, because at that point you could have probably just made this a goal ring.
Perfect.
Before we continue on through our next stage here in Expert Mode, I want to run through the Doom one final time here, simply because this stage, if you know what you're doing, could easily be one of the easiest stages in this entire playthrough. Heck, I would even argue this could be the easiest stage to complete in Shadow the Hedgehog. What you want to do is you want to fill up your hero gauge as fast as possible. So put out the fires around you, heal up the gun soldiers with the heal cannon, and once you get yourself chaos control on standby here, go over to where the shadow box is located here in the beginning of the level, rub your face against the door, and from here you can chaos control straight through the door, which will take you to one of the last checkpoints here in the Doom. Then from this section, keep your chaos control by healing up more gun soldiers, putting out more fires, and then from here, you can easily use chaos control right next to the final checkpoint and zoom up to the very top of the Doom where all of the wounded soldiers are located, shoot them with your heal cannon, and beat the stage in under 1 minute. This stage, when you break it down, is extremely simplified thanks to the use of chaos control. Even more broken if you just use the chaos control glitch at a checkpoint to zoom through the entire level in one go. But let's go ahead and move on to our next stage here in Expert Mode, Sky Troops.
This blue sky, staring at it from afar. Have I seen it before?
Of course you have, you idiot!
Yoo-hoo! It's me, Charlie. How's it going? Huh? Me? I'm actually in the middle of running some errands. See you later.
Charmy, why'd you call us up on our training mission if you're just gonna be running errands? That kind of felt like a waste of time. Maybe we'll hear from him later. This level loves Lightspeed trails, so get used to using your Lightspeed dash a lot. There's a lot of sections where we'll be doing that over pits. I'm gonna use this said weapon here, which I've heard a lot of people refer to that specific gun as the donut gun, and I can't unsee it now, so every time we'll see that weapon, it will be the donut gun from here on out. Gonna make our way up here to this section and stock up some extra boxes. I didn't want to stock up the shadow container because I would have loved to refill my egg pack, but we'll see another one soon enough. It's not the end of the world. Slide right here. That way I don't have to deal with the crumbling platforms. Here's a Lightspeed trail. Gonna be seeing more of those later, huh? I'm gonna borrow your weapon here for a moment because we have just enough of our meter ready to use a chaos control. So we'll attack the aliens in this room, fill it up, and from here, let her rip. That loop is pretty long, so I'd rather skip some of it at this point by using chaos control. There should be a shadow container here on my right, so let's go ahead and break this open. Get ourselves a refill in the egg vac. And it's almost ready to pop, so this is very convenient. I want to break this container instead of sucking up, because I believe this is a ring capsule. And sure enough, doesn't really matter because we have more than enough rings, but hey, if you want those points for whatever reason, then here you go. Points don't really matter in expert mode. As we mentioned before, there's no ranking system, and the game doesn't keep track of your score for every level here, so it's kind of just a thing. You have to track your own score if you really want to know how many points you had by the end of a level in expert mode. But don't worry about it. Gonna hit this because we have no choice but to take yet another light speed trail. We have to take the top section here, but we don't need to destroy any of Eggman's air fleet here. In fact, if you destroy all of his air fleet planes, it won't do anything for the mission, so we'll just leave Eggman's forces alone. Minus the ones we're sucking up for points. Well, these two are almost both dead, and I don't have enough ammo, so give me another gun. There we go. We have just enough also for another chaos control, but I don't want to use it here. We're gonna wait a moment and use it after we go through this section here into our next checkpoint. If you remember the normal layout here for Sky Troops, you now jump off this cliff at the end and you can use your chaos control to fly through this entire Black Hawk section, which is a lot faster. But we're pretty much done with this vacuum, so don't even bother with anything here. Just run through the section. Stop near the end because we don't want to jump off and miss this rocket, which thankfully is in the same spot as it is normally. From here, we want to fall down, hit our final checkpoint for more lives, and complete the level.
Perfect.
Now prepare yourself, everybody, because we're coming into what I consider one of the longest levels here in expert mode. Because this one, it's a doozy. Let's make our way through Mad Matrix.
Shadow, I hear you're engaged in some training. You know you'll never be stronger than me. If you think so, then I challenge you to find and access all 4 of the world's databases.
Of all the things that make us do here in Mad Matrix, they make you go through all 4 terminals to activate them. So we're completing the hero mission here. Even though this one does have a goal ring, you are skipping at least half of the whole level if you go for neutral mission here. So I can understand why we have to go for the terminals, but it could have been worse. Could have been the bombs. Thankfully, they didn't say, hey, you know what? What if we add 60 bombs into this area and make you blow up 60 of them? If they did that, I would not be playing expert mode. I'm just saying. That would be way too much. This shadow crate is new. That's not there normally. So might as well grab ourselves a shadow rifle. Doesn't really matter what weapon we have here. We just want something with a projectile. Let's take a pit stop over here on my left on this blue platform. Get ourselves some chaos control energy and use it immediately. Not much you can really do with this chaos control in this stage. Just as useless here in expert mode as it is in the normal playthrough. This will just get us to another shadow container faster. So we're gonna start over here at the yellow terminal. The green terminal is still considered the hardest of the 4 to make your way through, so you may be better off going to green first, but we'll go with how the checkpoint order is, and technically, the yellow terminal is the second terminal. So, here we are. Gotta activate all the panels in the same color. In this case, I'll just use yellow because there's a lot more panels here in Mad Matrix for you to complete. So, there's a lot more busy work in this level, if you want to be honest. Take care of that worm. Just don't want to be dealing with his homing reticle shots. They're definitely a nuisance in this stage. Here, let go your controller, because in this section, if you try to influence yourself in the air, it can be pretty nerve-wracking. Also, it's really hard to see your drop shadow, next to impossible actually. This section is not the best. I think this is one of the hardest levels in expert mode simply because of a lot of these specific jumps that you need to make just to activate all these panels. Without a better drop shadow system, it's pretty difficult to see where you're jumping. Gonna wait for this platform to come up. Now we have more panels to change around. I'm gonna change these to yellow because it will be a little bit faster. Because if I change the yellow to red, that's a lot of jumping. And from here, just let the elevator take you up. A lot less paneling in between areas, which makes this a little more precarious, but just be slow. The big theme for the Mad Matrix here is take your time. Don't rush it. If you rush any of these sections, it's going to be very easy for you to fall off the edges and reset from a checkpoint. And checkpoints are pretty spread out here in these terminals, so you don't want to make any major mistakes here. And now with the yellow terminal complete, let's make our way over to the green terminal next. I'm gonna turn over here to my right, because there is a platform that I would just have to stop at and then continue. There's no point. We're just gonna avoid all of this. Just go straight for green. Hit this checkpoint here, that way we don't have to do the yellow terminal again. And we have another sequence here to complete. This one I'm going to show off something interesting. Don't think I actually got to show this off in the main series. You hold the R button to strafe, and then jump while doing so. You will do a little air dodge jump, depending on the direction you hold on your control stick. It's not the most helpful mechanic in the world, hence why I never really use it, and I honestly forget it's in the game half the time. But in this level, it's good to use the strafe button to not run at maximum speed. So it's really helpful in these situations where you need to be a little more precise. And also in this section, maybe not the best idea to use a little dodge jump, but it does give you the perfect clearance to jump from one platform to another on this puzzle section. So if you're careful with it, it could be a better idea, or it could end your life. And I've done that plenty of times. Accidentally jumping off the edges. It's very easy to do in this stage, especially given how there's less panels for you to stand on, which makes this section in the green terminal a lot more nerve-wracking. You have less footing to work with. Okay, well, good to know. Shadow Rifle is not the answer here. I've never actually used the Shadow Rifle in this section before, but the bullets are too low. It missed. So use the Eggman guns here. You know, you learn something new every day. Honestly, not really the big deal that we lost all those rings at this point, because we're only going to hit like maybe 2 more checkpoints. But as you can see, yeah, this section is still just as bad here as it is in the main level. I think it's a little bit worse personally, because again, the platform's a lot more narrow. So you don't have much room to move. And even though these platforms don't feel like they've moved here near the end section, they do feel like they're slightly higher. Well, that could just be a placebo. Gonna grab ourselves some more ammo here just to be safe. Even though we probably won't need any more ammo at this point. This is why I got all those extra lives. Sections like this, again, is why you want as many lives as possible in expert mode, because I don't want to have to start this entire run over just because of some bad platforming on my part. This section, we gotta be really fast. Shoot the one in the middle to make it green. Then from here, we are forced to land on this platform in the middle, which is very nerve-wracking, which is the theme of Mad Matrix. But activate these platforms, and that will take us up. We don't have a spring on the other side anymore to use as a safety net. We have to use this elevator platform, and then wait for platforms to materialize in front of us. And from here, we're out of here. We gotta activate these specific switches in front of us, and now we can ride up the current to activate the green terminal. And with that, we only have one more terminal left, and that's the red terminal. Thankfully, there's only one major thing changed in the red terminal area, so it's not really that different. In fact, I think the change is not that much harder, honestly, compared to the normal version of Mad Matrix. Unfortunately, we got the bad camera going into the railing section here, so we can't really see that well. It's sometimes just a thing that happens in this level. Kind of one of my least favorite parts of the level is just this specific mechanic. And it's only because of how the camera works. When I hit all these panels here, make them red, any other color would take way too long. Gonna jump over this wall. I'm gonna just ignore the robots at this point. Don't need to fight them. Gonna make this specific section red. And now use this right up to the top. And we'll have one more final platforming section to deal with, and it'll take us to where the goal ring would normally be located, and also the final terminal. No wall jumping section here, which honestly is probably easier compared to doing the triangle jumping. I'd rather do normal platforming any day of the week compared to a triangle jump. But here we are at the end of the red terminal, and where the goal ring would normally be located, that's a randomized capsule, so you can get anything from that. Gotta wait for a platform here. You could spin dash jump this, which is way faster, but it's a lot more risky. Thankfully, you can't die in this sectional level unless you take too many hits from the enemy and lose all your rings. So, just make your way to that final terminal, and that concludes Mad Matrix. Even on a good day, this level's still like 8 minutes long, so, like I said earlier, be prepared. And now for a polar opposite. We're going to the shortest level here in expert mode, Death Ruins.
Shadow, I understand that your training to be the ultimate, as to be expected on my bloodline. Now go, head for the gold ring.
So this part, it's always confused me when I was growing up playing Shadow the Hedgehog. When you get to this level specifically in your expert mode playthrough, as a reminder, this playthrough, this takes place after the main events of Shadow the Hedgehog complete, which means this takes place after the last story. After we defeat Black Doom. And yet, Black Doom is talking to us here in the training mission, which is supposed to be a canon playthrough. That's a little confusing on the player, making you think either he isn't defeated and now he's a good guy, or this is stuff recorded before Shadow defeated Black Doom. Take it as you will. I do think the dialogue in here is more of a tongue-in-cheek thing, so I wouldn't really take it too seriously in terms of story significance. Because if you do, your head's gonna hurt. But also nowadays, everything is canon in Sonic the Hedgehog, so good luck trying to see if this is actually a canon thing or not.
Commencing attack plan A.
I'm gonna grab this gun over here because we just used up the egg pack, so might as well get me some extra ammo. Gonna wait for a worm here to appear, give me some free points, and this is actually a perfect section to have Chaos Control on standby because this is a long climbing section that I'm just not wanting to do. So let's use Chaos Control to bypass the entire thing, and also to bypass our final set of enemies we have to fight. Camera's really weird in this section too though, but it drops us right before the final loop. And now, jump off this specific platform, use these rings to get right to the goal, and that completes Death Ruins. But with Death Ruins completed, we're gonna end things here. Next time on Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog Expert Mode, we'll be making our way through more stages here in this playthrough, starting off with the Ark. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.